Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to LadyGang. I am Becca Tobin here with Jack Vanek and Kelty Knight.
Hello.
Hi.
What we need is like a B-roll LadyGang episode of just the 4 seconds that happens before we film each time when we say the shadiest thing that's ever happened, but it never airs. Like we sit down, we're like, I think he's blah, blah, blah. And then we're like, okay, here we go.
Thank God we don't have like a production team that
sell us out.
That would sell us out.
I know.
Yeah, it's just Jared over there cutting it out.
He's a good
true.
one.
Yeah, thank God.
All right, it's time for
Good week.
Yes, it is.
Bad week. Oh, no.
Who wants to
I'll go first.
Yeah.
My good week is MGK. Machine Gun Kelly is back. He released a new song called Cliche. He is dancing in it like a pop star 2000s dream.
Yep.
And I am eating it up.
It is eaten. It is digested. It has.
Do you love it too?
The Riz is so high.
He can do anything. That's what I think is so funny. It's like he goes from like being like a hard rapper, and then he's like, no, now I'm going to be like a little dancing boy band guy.
You know what I thought when I saw it? I was like,
What did
how do
you
I
think?
say this? Only someone with the highest confidence and
Yes.
self-esteem would be like, I'm going to do this and it's going to be received well. Because I don't know any man who would be like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to look like a douche, wouldn't be going through their head.
On the heels of his very public breakup.
Yes.
Yes.
It's such a testament to just confidence and
Yes.
how people will drink the Kool-Aid if you think it's good too.
No. Well, and number one, the song is really good. It
Yeah.
literally is like an early 2000s. And he was doing an interview about it. He's just like, we need some nostalgia. Like people don't listen to new music.
Well, he could come to Lady World. We have Pop 2K coming.
It's very on brand. But I just love it. I love it. I love the dancing. I think it's so cute. And like, yeah, it's so true. It's like, he's just so confident. He doesn't give a
I love him so much and he's so tall. It's like, do I like him or is he just tall? And I'm like, no, I like
no,
him.
I like him. There's something about him that he just like emanates
And
Riz.
he's even hotter in real life, you guys.
he?
is so hot in real life. The Riz is zizzling all over the city. Well, I don't know about all over the city, but all over the room you're in.
All
You're
over the
like,
city.
you can't look away. It's like so many times these stars, like the actors, they're like so small and you're like, oh, that's whoever, you know?
Yeah.
Jeremy Allen White.
Right. When you
Down
walk
there?
in, when you see Machine Gun Kelly, like a superstar has entered the room, the like
Yeah.
energy gets sucked towards him.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I love him so much.
Okay.
My bad week is I have a new enemy.
Oh.
And it is the crows that are in my backyard.
Uh-oh.
Now, I love crows. I think they're
But do you?
No, well, I did.
Okay.
Well, I love crows because they're very intelligent. You can make friends with them. Like you can give them presents. Like it's the whole thing. So at first when we moved in, we have these 2 crows that like hang out on our cypress trees. And I'm like, I'm going to make friends with them. They're going to be my best friends. I'll leave them presents every day.
Stupid.
Like whatever. And then I went down like a Reddit rabbit hole about a guy who made friends with these crows. And now there's like a dozen crows that he cannot leave his house without these crows like basically not attacking them because they like him, but like
Waiting for
bombarding
a
him.
gift.
Like he can't leave. And then also if you piss off the crow, then they hold a grudge and they pass it down to their generations. So you're going to have crows that like are your enemies forever. So I never made friends with my crows, but now they're doing this thing. And I don't know if it's like what time of the year it is, but at 5:30 every morning, it sounds like there's 20 crows outside my window squawking at each other at a level that is insane. Wakes me up every single morning.
Wow.
And I don't know what to do.
Shoot it.
And I don't know if
I'm just kidding.
wasn't expecting that.
Shoot it.
I don't know if like one of our neighbors might be making friends with them. And that's why there's so many
Well, maybe
more
if you
now.
made friends with them, they'd shut the up.
No, they would be asking for stuff. They'd want
What
things
kind
from
of
me.
presents do people leave? I want to start leaving presents for my crows.
You leave like little
Like
beads and like
Oh.
peanuts and like just little trinkets and stuff.
Oh,
And then they'll bring you stuff.
they will?
Yeah, no, like you can, they're so smart. But then
Because
it's,
Callie has, I think I've said this before, but Callie has 2 crow friends.
Yeah.
They chase each other through all the windows of my upstairs all day long.
But the problem is it's commitment. You can't just be friends for a little bit. Like
Yeah.
you're committing basically for your whole life.
very
if you
needy
live there.
friendship.
Okay,
Yeah.
I can't wait.
But mine's a problem because they're so fucking loud.
Yeah.
And then even if we close the windows, they still wake me up. So
Well, you have to learn how to love the bird sounds because when I
they're
get up in the
not
morning,
bird sounds, they're squawking.
Oh, when I get up in the morning, Chris, he roll over to me like the sweet man that he is, and he'll be like, "Good morning. Are you ready for your bird sounds?"
But yours are probably like
he
chirps.
walks
Every morning.
Yeah, he walks and he opens the curtain because he gets up before me. He opens the curtain and lets the sun in, and then he opens the door or opens the window, and then
they're probably
and I hear the bird sounds, and they're like, cheep, 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 cheep.
That's not mine.
Wow.
I'll take a
Ready for
video.
your bird
I'm gonna
sounds?
take a video next time, and I'm
Okay.
gonna show you guys because it's like it's the most
Aggressive.
cacophonous, aggressive.
Cacophonous.
Yeah, like bad sounding.
Wow,
Those
you're
are
so
very
smart.
good vocab word.
Damn.
Anyways.
Okay, mine's about birds too, so I have to go.
Great.
I'm a mother once again. The birds came back. Now, I've lived in this house for 4 years, and 3 out of the 4 years, for 2 years in a row, the bird family built a nest in the center light of my garage, my middle garage, because I have a 3-door garage, and laid eggs, made babies, and then left. And I used to have a security camera right there with my old security system. My new one, Don't Rob Me, is better and in different places. But anyway, I had it tilted down. Remember, I had it tilted down and it was heating them, probably giving them some sort of cancer. And then I could watch the birds every day. And it was like one of my big hobbies. Well, last summer, I did not get a bird nest. And I was so sad. And I thought it was because my dad spray painted the light fixtures. And I was like, they don't like the smell.
Yeah.
They came back this year, better nest than ever. I've been thrilled to watch them build the nest. I took a picture of the nest a few weeks ago, or a week ago. I noticed the eggs. We had 3 eggs. They recently hatched. Every day I go, and it's like the most important thing. Right now, we're at like red little body faces. The eyes are not open yet, like little fur babies, and it brings me such joy. And I wish that I had birds' nests all the time. That I could look at all the time.
They are so cute.
Have you seen the meme where it's like one day you're young and then the next you're dangerously close to bird watching?
Yeah. That's how I feel. I'm like, I'm so busy. And I'm like, I gotta go look at the birds today. My bad week is also animal
Related?
related. I was in the shower the other day. So my shower is like quite big and it's open. And then it has like a what's it called? Fountain. Rain shower. Okay, so I have the rain shower head and I'm in the shower and I'm enjoying my shower. I'm lathering up. It's amazing. And all of a sudden I look to my left. A spider has come down from the rain shower
God.
and is just sitting on its web, just
No.
shoulder eye level, just tinkling with its legs in the water. I'm like, isn't the water supposed to like fuck
taking
them
a bath.
up? It's taking a bath. Splish splash, I was taking. No.
Now, what do you do with the
Along
spider?
comes the
Itsy bitsy spider?
I whacked it and then I put it down the drain.
You're not
But I
supposed to
love
kill
spiders.
a spider in your house.
I love a spider.
Yeah.
But the spider should know better than to come into my bath.
Yeah. The only time I kill a spider when it's in my house is if it's something like that,
Yeah.
where it's
If the spider's here, I just saw one upstairs.
I'll
left
usually pick it up with something and put it outside.
I rehome all of my spiders, except for I did hear, I don't know if this is true or not. So if somebody that knows more, let me know. Allegedly, spiders that live indoors, if you rehome them outside, they die. So I don't know what you're supposed to do then.
But where did spiders live before houses?
I don't know.
Okay.
Also, if it's like a black widow, like,
No.
or, like a
if it's a
recluse, I'm like,
black
well, they
widow-
also live outside. Well, those we kill if it's like a scary spider.
Okay. Becca, what
Okay.
zoo do you have today?
I don't have anything to do with animals because I hate a bird. Fun fact, I hate a bird.
Okay.
Their little feet, gross.
Well, they are dinosaurs.
Nothing more disgusting.
Okay.
Okay, so my good week is this. My best friend just had a baby.
Cute.
And so for the last couple of years, a lot of my very close friends have been struggling to get pregnant. There's been so much infertility. There's been so much loss. It's just been such a bummer because we're so old that this is how it goes. You're supposed to have babies when you're like 19. Bummer. And so there were several years, maybe the last 2, where I was like, there are certain people in my life that I actually don't know if they're going to be able to biologically have their own children. And it's a very sad thing. I mean, obviously for them, but it's just like a very sad place to live in, purgatory, to like be trying and trying and trying and trying and trying. And so she had her baby, which is great. And then another really good friend of mine is just in her 2nd trimester and it's looking good.
Oh, that's so exciting.
It's really exciting. And it's
Are
just
these their first kids?
first kids.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And so it's really when you watch somebody who wants something so badly for like 5 years, try and try and try and try. There's nothing more frustrating than, so it's been such a good, she had a baby and she named it after her aunt, Jane, who's Jane Lynch from Glee.
Cute.
So
Wait, is the baby named Jane?
Yeah, baby
That's
Jane.
cute. I'm into these
I love the name Jane for a baby.
It's so good.
I like the resurgence
Old
of
lady.
not even because Jane's not like old lady, but it's like boomer age.
Yeah. Yeah.
And those names got forgotten about for a while.
They
so
did.
Everyone was named Braxton
yes.
or like February.
Yeah.
you know?
Kennedy.
Jane is so cute.
Isn't that cute?
Very cute.
So it's just very
Oh,
happy.
that's exciting.
Yeah,
I know.
Congrats
I know.
to you too. Congrats, Auntie.
Okay, my bad week is, you guys are going to roll your eyes. It's totally fine. So in Austin, they do this thing called ACL Live, and it is year round. They invite artists to come and do a taped performance that they then have on their channel. And Zach every morning will put on someone's performance from ACL Live. It's very cool. And I have a really good friend who messaged me about 2 weeks ago, and she said, hey, this is super secret, but Cam is coming to tape her ACL Live special. Do you want to go? And I said,
Obviously.
absolutely.
Does a mouse
She'll
live in
move
the-
mountains
Yeah.
for this.
Do you know when it happened?
Today.
Last night.
Oh, no.
I was here
That's
sleeping in
rough.
Kelty's bed. Uh-huh.
Did anybody go that you knew?
No, I don't think so. But it is, and even Cam DM'd me.
No.
Asking if you're going to go?
She said,
she DM'd you unprompted?
Yes, we're friends.
I know, but
I mean, it's social media friends.
I know, but that's
She texted me and said, hey, I'm coming to Austin to do my ACL Live taping. Do you want to come? I'll put you on the list. And I said, there's never been any more devastating news than that. So
that's rough.
It's.
I guess we're going to have to hire her for Becca's 40th birthday now.
Yeah.
We owe you big time.
You owe me big time.
Speaking of big time, Sharon Stone's here. Next.
She's here.
The Lady Gang.
Today on the Lady Gang, we're honored to have a true icon back in our world whose influence spans decades in film, fashion, and activism. Her journey from Pennsylvania to international stardom is nothing short of extraordinary, with
You
a
said it.
reported IQ of 154.
That's
She began
Mensa
college
shit.
at 15 before transitioning from modeling to acting. Her breakout role in Basic Instinct catapulted her to fame, followed by a Golden Globe winning performance in Casino, which also earned her an Academy Award nominations. Beyond her cinematic achievements, she has demonstrated remarkable resilience. After surviving a life-threatening brain hemorrhage in 2001, she embraced new creative outlets. And just before we recorded this podcast, we talked about my commissioned Sharon Stone artwork that's going to go in my bedroom. Her memoir, The Beauty of Living Twice, offers an intimate look at her life's challenges and triumphs, and we're so excited to have her back. The most viral guest we've ever had on Lady Gang is back to enjoy it and to make us popular again. Please please join us in welcoming back the multifaceted and inspiring Sharon Stone to the Lady Gang.
Wow.
Da-da-da-da.
Welcome back.
You're the hardest person to write an entrance from because it's like we don't have
Well,
all
you don't
day.
need one either.
No.
Yeah,
It's like
people know you.
Sharon
You're
Stone.
fine.
Yeah.
Period. What are you painting for her? What
know,
are you
I wanna
getting?
know the
This is
commission.
exciting.
Well, Sharon's art is so beautiful.
I know. This is why I'm very
But
curious.
she's still, I feel like you're in a discovery phase. Like she does, okay, I'm going to say
You want her to
something-
answer?
Yeah.
I want her to answer, but she does art the way fashion is. It's like a little collections at a time. So there's like a collection of this type and then a collection of this
I'm
stuff.
working on a show. Not that I have the show at the moment, but I'm working on my next show, which is called Families and Other Crime Scenes.
Oh.
And what I showed you and what you want a commission piece is from that collection. And it's a real breakthrough collection for me where I feel like I finally really found specifically my voice in my painting. You know, I've been painting for a while now, and there's something kind of Japanese in my work, and the Japanese masters always say that you should copy an artist for a while to really get to your craft. And so I've copied a variety of artists to get to my craft and to understand, and then done a lot of independent things, and then just done a lot of traditional things that one does, because I studied art at university. And so I've gone back and studied, redone all of the initial work, and then restudied a lot of the different masters and reworked a lot of the different types of things and brushstrokes and, there's all kinds of things that you work on. And I worked and worked and worked and worked on my toolbox. And out of the blue, well, I can't say really out of the blue, my mom died. And I think whatever relationship you have with your mother, when the umbilical breaks, it's a very powerful rupture. It changes you in deep and profound ways that are so unexpected. Now, I know that you're a young mother. And when you're a young mother, you change. And for the first 6 years of being a mother, it's like your personality just gets erased.
Every molecule like reconfigures. It's
from
wild.
the moment you get handed that baby. I'm an adoptive mother, and I have 3 sons who are now grown. They're now 19, 20, and 25. And so all of a sudden, I'm changing yet again to, I feel like I'm just a single girl. Like, I don't have to really think about you every second of every day. In fact, I don't have to think of you constantly, though I do, though it's a reflex. I'm changed. And then my mom died. And that's like a rubber band that is stretched to its maximum and breaks.
What was your relationship with her like?
Not great. Not great. My mom had a terrible childhood. She and my dad were Depression era people. My mother had an extraordinarily violent home life. Her parents were extreme abusers. The most extreme you can imagine, they were that. And she was removed from her home by social services when she was 9. Her gym teacher called social services. She was bleeding. Her back was covered in lash marks. She was bleeding through her gym uniform. God. And that was one of the minor things that was happening to her. And she was put in a home to be the housekeeper, laundress, cook, everything for a home where the mom had asthma, which was not treatable in those days. And she did everything at 9.
Oh my gosh.
My God.
And my dad came from a home where they were extraordinarily wealthy. The first oil drillers in Oil City, Pennsylvania, so extreme wealth. And he had come from a long line of royalty from France, down from, many people were relatives of Charlemagne, but also my dad's, long distance relatives were the original king and queen of France, and royalty down through Burgundy. And then they were oil drillers, and then the oil well blew and killed everyone.
God.
Like on Giant. Wow. The movie Giant, like that. And so then my dad was given away when he was 4, and he grew up in people's barns. And his mother went to work as a nurse in a sanatorium and took his sister with her. So both of my parents grew up as child servants. And so they got married when my mom was 16 and my dad was 17 and started their own little life. So my parents had no idea how to be parents. And while my dad was quite a warm-hearted person, my mom was an extraordinarily cold and extremely defensive person because of all of the unending abuse she suffered, from being an extremely abused child to being a young girl with no protection or defenses.
Did that help you? Because then you get, eventually in your life, you have all this adversity, but like maybe because you weren't coddled in that way, you were tough enough to deal with like the Hollywood of it all?
Yeah, I mean, when I wrote my book, The Beauty of Living Twice, I said to my mom, when I was kind of surreptitiously interviewing her, Mom, you never, and my girlfriends were sitting around when I said this. I said, Mom, you never let me lean on you. And she said, that's right. I taught you to stand on your own 2 goddamn feet.
Oh my God.
And I realized when I was reading the book to her before she really opened up to me, and then I rewrote the book, that was the biggest gift she ever gave me. That was the thing she knew how to do, and the thing that protected her, and the thing that saved her, and the thing that helped her. And it was the biggest gift of love she had to give me, to teach me how to stand on my own 2 goddamn feet. And over the years, it has been a gift, a luxurious gift in this environment and many others I've been put into. As you well know, all of you, it's no picnic.
Nope.
No. And so I think it's like, man, that's so hard. How did you grieve that? How did you grieve
Yeah.
that?
Complicated.
Well, I was sick. I had the flu, and she was here more visiting my sister than me, but she came over and I said, can I read you the rough draft? And she sat by the bed and she was very stern. And as I read it to her, it was 3 days. And the second day she sat on the bed, which was already big for her. And the third day she actually got in the bed.
Oh my God.
And started to cry. And I hit record on my phone, which she didn't know. And I recorded her talking about her life and her childhood. And then I rewrote the book. And then I dedicated the book to her. Because even though we did not have a warm and fuzzy, it really helped me understand her and where I came from and why. And how to be different. And all of my girlfriends, of course, and I had reparented each other quite a bit by then.
I was just
which
going
is
to ask.
what lady gangs do.
Yeah. I was wondering how that informed your relationship with women for the rest of your life. Because some women have that experience with their mom, their first female relationship. And if it's not warm, they really struggle trusting other women for the rest of their lives. But it sounds like you've figured out a way to.
Well, we taught each other how to hug in our 20s. And we taught each other how to tell each other our hurts and our pains and our secrets in our 30s. And in our 40s, we taught each other how to shut the up. And
Do less.
And do less. Keep shit to ourselves. Don't. Well, I still overshare when I'm nervous. I go into a meeting and just
Same.
I panic share.
Oh, yeah.
And I think you do that when you have a cold mom. You go into rooms and just
Love me. Find something that you like about
Do
me.
you like me? Do you like me? Do you think
Interesting.
you could like me? Can you like me? But I'm, growing out of that in my 60s.
I love it.
Where I'm
Still evolving.
I think it's weird, but I think the day after my mother died, I sat back in the saddle.
Wow.
For the first time ever. And I realized I don't have to be the skinniest person in the room. And I don't have to be the somethingest person in the room. And I don't really give a shit if you like me. And maybe my ego got straightened out a little bit because all of a sudden I liked me. And my painting improved exponentially, like instantly, like night and day, like boom. I just started painting what the hell I wanted to, and I didn't care if anybody liked it, and it got way better. And I started commissioning paintings for my own home. And in fact, I took all the other art out of my house and just put my own art.
Hell yeah.
For a change, which is so crazy.
Was she critical? Was she okay? Well, maybe it's because your biggest critic was no longer Earthside, so you could do whatever the you wanted.
Yeah, really critical. Like hated my dog.
What?
Like that kind of.
hate a dog.
Yeah, like what is that?
What is that?
When it would walk in the room, when
Oh my
my dog
God.
would come in the room, she'd say, "What is that?"
Wow.
What about during like, was she entranced by Hollywood at all? Like, was she
I
like,
think when I
"Ooh,
was-
here's you and De Niro." Like, was she like, wow, Cher?
No. When I was younger and I did a movie with Richard Gere, she thought he was pretty hot
No.
and made a couple of hot jokes,
Okay.
but not really. No,
So interesting.
didn't really watch my stuff.
Was there any?
Had critiques of me on TV, but not really, no. I mean, not to me.
Yeah.
I was told she told other people, but not me.
Well, she was only 16 years older than you. That is such a close.
No, she had my brother first.
Oh, she was 16 when she got married.
Yeah, and
How old was
and
she
she
with you?
was very close to my brother, unusually close. I mean, they lived together till the end.
mothers
Mothers
and
and
sons are
sons.
so different.
Yeah, and
God, it's so different.
yes, but no, I think in reality because she never got to be a kid.
Yeah.
And never got to be a teenager. I think what really happened, because she was close to my younger sister, I think what really happened, and the way I kind of see it, is that she was like a teenager when she had me. She was like 20. So I think for her, when I started to get into my adolescence and started to do the things that girls do, that she had never done, she wanted to do it with me or through me. And I think she became like
Like jealous?
a mean girl,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so she was like a mean teen who made fun of me with my sister, my younger sister, and they became like the clique at home that I wasn't in.
Oh my
Just
God.
wild.
Which is, but it's so understandable.
Yeah, it makes
because
sense.
she was a little girl
Right.
with kids, which is why this whole idea that little girls should have children is so
Fucked.
inappropriate because
Yeah.
little kids aren't emotionally equipped to have children, and it creates such crisis. It's just so inappropriate.
It's so wild that, well, I actually am happy. I'm happy she, whatever her critiques of you were, I'm happy she got to witness all of your stages, but I'm also excited she was around for the Sharonaissance that I'm calling it, because this has been pretty wild the last few years. We had you on the podcast a couple years ago,
Right.
and obviously you're Sharon Stone, so you don't really need to come on any podcast. You did it as a sweet favor to us. And
I love what you guys do.
the virality of your advice to us.
Oh my gosh.
I constantly am having to go on the internet being like, this is our footage, please take it down, or you need to credit us, because everything you said turned into a meme of people wanted what you had to hear. And then all of a sudden, I don't know if it was because you were already in my little internet world, but all of a sudden I would see you pop up literally everywhere. I'm like, oh, now she's on the cover of the Hollywood Reporter. Oh, now she's doing a movie. Now she, like, I feel like the past few years you've been very busy, and like the bitch is back. Okay, is it true you're going to be on Euphoria?
I'm going to be on Euphoria.
So
the
exciting.
biggest show in the world.
So exciting. I can't wait.
What has the Sharon Renaissance felt like?
It's very, it's a very grounded, exciting moment. I have 2 films coming out. I have this film in memoriam, which is really so cool, with Mark Maron. That's like a dramedy that's really great, which is hard to say it's comedic because I play a woman with stage 4 cancer, but it is funny. And it's beautiful. And he's a beautiful man, Mark Maron. Just a beautiful, funny, poignant, deep, lovely man. And I was thrilled to do it. And then I did Nobody, the sequel, with Bob Odenkirk. And he's the greatest.
Did you have so much fun with him?
Oh, my God. I mean...
What do you play? Are you love interest?
No, I'm the villain.
Yes.
Which is so exciting. I play this knife-throwing psychopath.
Shut up.
Which is just, she's such a psycho. She's just the most bloodthirsty psycho killer. It's fabulous. And I wanted her to seem like she just came right out of social media. You know, these things that terrify us, these things that are just freaking us the f out. I wanted her to be that. And I think she is that. Because she's a confusing villain. So she's great. And she's the smoked earth type. Yeah.
And so then you get Euphoria. You get the call. Did you understand what Euphoria was? Had you watched it?
Oh, yes, I'm a giant fan.
So you
so
understood
good.
that we've been waiting like 6 years now for this next part of Euphoria.
Yes, I've watched the whole show
Okay.
more than once.
Okay.
I'm also deeply in the Sydney Sweeney, Maud Apatow, Zendaya
Yes.
obsession.
Yes.
Yes.
This is, and then like they call you and they're like, we're going to put you on the cover of the Hollywood Reporter. Like, you're like, obviously.
just been-
Are you like, yeah, bitch, I'm Sharon Stone? Or are you like, oh, wow, okay, you're.
Well, you know, I've worked with Paris LeBay as my creative director and stylist for 30 years, right? And so we do so much stuff together. And during COVID, people were calling and like, will you do the cover of Vogue and we're going to tape the camera to a tree? And we said, we don't do taping cameras to trees. That's not how we work. But we do have a team that has agreed to stay in a bubble. Our entire team, our cameraman, our videographer, our assistants, and we have a skeleton crew, and we don't have to take campers. I change outside. I pee outside. My crew turns around when I change outside. It's the whole thing. And we did on location unbelievable shoots, like seriously gorgeous shoots with like 7 models. We did major, and we ended up doing more Vogue and Bazaar and Elle and Marie Claire shoots than any other person in the world during COVID. Wow. I think we did something like 7 or 9 Vogue and Bazaar covers, and we did all this work. And it really, because we know that you have to keep the business in business, even during these crisis times. So we work. And because we work hard, I think people really respected that. And they understood that, well, if you're going to work when times are tough, we're going to give you work when times are good.
What did you do in the quiet times of your career? Like still self-generated things or?
Well, I'm an artist, you
Right.
know. I'm not just an actress. And not that just an actress is a demeaning thing, but when I was young and I said, well, you know, I write lyrics and I was to school on a writing scholarship at 15 and I'd like to write a book or I would like to direct or, you know, I'm a painter. And people would say, stay in your lane. And they had chosen a lane for me. It wasn't my lane. It was their lane that they had chosen to put me in. But it was clear that I didn't have a choice of lanes. And so on downtimes, I was like, I get to do my own lane when you're not giving me anything to do. And so I always continued to write song lyrics, write poetry, write short stories, draw and paint. It's just that no one ever really knew about it. And then when things started to loosen up, I went to New York and was like, I'd like to publish a book of short stories. Oh, no, you can't. No one's interested in that. Well, then Tom Hanks published his book of short stories. And I thought, well, I guess unless you're a man. And then they said, well, you can't write a book unless you write a memoir. So I took my short stories and pulled them together and wrote a memoir. Because I was like, okay, well, let's do it your way. And so that was a New York Times bestseller and a #1 book in some countries. And I've sold it in 23 countries now.
Wow.
And I just thought, well, and then COVID happened and I went full time back to painting. So then I've been having shows internationally. And that's been going extremely well.
It's huge.
So I just have decided that my lane are the lanes I choose now.
Do you feel like resentful or not resentful or like, well, duh? Like when you get the call for Euphoria, are you like, well, someone came to their right mind? Like Keke Palmer has this big thing right now that's viral and she's like, it's a reframe. Like where she says, oh, it's not that I didn't get this movie. It's that your movie will no longer be as good as it could have been because I'm not in it. And I love that. Like, I'm like, oh, we got a reframe. But like,
I don't like that.
you don't.
Well, Christine Crocus is my good friend, and she moved into my guest house to write the movie Pimp for Keke Palmer, her break movie, because we knew how good Keke Palmer was, for example. Sometimes it just takes smarter people to see you.
Ooh!
And sometimes, you have to realize that you're Technicolor in a black and white world. And sometimes you have to realize, I came out here when I was young. I was in New York. I was modeling in New York. And I was in what was called special bookings, which was pre-supermodel. They had a thing in Eileen Ford, and it was in the front of the book, and it was called Special Bookings. And we were the generation before
Supermodel.
Cindy and all of those girls, right? So before supermodels were special bookings. So we were the supermodels before where they were called supermodels. We were called special bookings.
Because you were just more beautiful than everybody else?
Well, because we were the supermodels of our supermodel day, but they didn't say they weren't called
Right, okay.
They weren't called super.
Because you're a special booking now, Sharon.
Yeah.
It always has been.
That's such an interesting
we were the
term.
supermodels of our days,
Yeah, okay.
right? So, and that's because we started at $5,000 a day, and we were beauty models. So we got booked for like all the cosmetics and jewelry and commercials and stuff, right? It was a different kind of thing. So they called me and they flew me out here to replace Laura of Luke and Laura on General Hospital.
Okay.
And I came out and I did the audition, and then the casting lady called me in and she said, "We won't be casting you." I'll never forget. And she had this gigantic high hair, like 6 inches high on the top of her head, and these big glasses. And she made me stand in front of her desk.
Oh, Lord.
Right? And she said, "We won't be casting you." And I said, "Okay, why?" And she said, "Because you have no mystery."
What?
And I thought, okay, whatever the hell that means. So I went back to New York and I thought, okay, I'm not going to be on General Hospital because I have no mystery. And my
Do you need mystery for General Hospital?
apparently. And so I went home and my girlfriend said, "Honey, you're Technicolor in a black and white world.
Oh.
Don't worry about it." And I thought, okay. that makes more sense than I have no mystery.
Right. Yep.
Right. And then, I got a bunch of banal stuff until my 18th movie, which was Basic Instinct.
We're going to pause Sharon here. We had such a great conversation with her. We actually need to do a part 2 because she's such an icon and she was in my house. Stay tuned next week for part 2 with Sharon Stone. And after that, we'll be back to our regular scheduled new episode every single week. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next Tuesday.